Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to dig into Rabbit Trails Through History Industrial Era. This was such a fun unit to do. We did it this past spring to get it ready, all the pictures, all that fun stuff, so that you guys could have it in your homeschool to start this fall or whenever you're wanting to use it in your homeschool. So this is a 6-lesson unit. Our units are laid out to be done about 2 weeks per lesson. And of course, you call the shots on that. If you are loving one of them, take 3 weeks. If your kid's not interested in a certain topic, take 1 week. Make it work for your own homeschool. So traditionally, if you use the 2 weeks, that means it'll take 12 weeks, which is about 1 semester in your homeschool. So we will go through what lessons there are. I will show you the main books and all that fun stuff. So let's get started. So first of all, like I said, there are 6 lessons, and the lessons cover about 1865 through 1920 in American history. And so this covers the American Industrial Revolution. This covers the Wright brothers, Ellis Island, Titanic, World War I, and women's rights. So those are the 6 lessons that you're going to learn about. This is for all elementary and middle school learners, which might seem like a really wide age gap, but that's because these lessons are so easy to adapt to whatever age kiddo that you have. So I did it with my 1st grader and my 6th grader, and it was really, really great to kind of have both of those sides of things, having the older kid and the younger kid. And my 1st grader will for sure do it again before she moves on to high school as well. So it's just really a beautiful family style type learning. Let me show you the main books inside of it. So the first lesson we have with the Industrial Revolution, we have young Thomas Edison. For the Wright brothers, we have To Fly. For Ellis Island, we have The Matchbox Diary. For Titanic, we have The Bravest Man in the World. Oh, this was such a good, sad, just sweet book. For World War I, we have Stubby. And for women's rights, we have Elizabeth Started All the Trouble. So this was just a really good unit. It went so deep into these different topics. There's other fun stuff introduced as well, as far as like the Panama Canal was built during that time. The Great Chicago Fire happened during that time. The Great San Francisco Earthquake happened during that time. So there's book suggestions to go beyond these topics as well, because we want your kids to get a really wide just spectrum of books, because rabbit trails, hello, right? We want to go beyond just these very narrow topics and make it much more broader for them so that they can get a really good idea of what happened in history during that time. So let me show you inside of the curriculums. We will go through our Industrial Revolution lesson together. So if you are new to rabbit trails, all of our units are laid out exactly the same way. So if you know what our units look like, this will not be a surprise to you. If you have never seen them before and you're interested in maybe language arts or a novel study or science, they'll be laid out the same way with different books, basically. So the first thing you're gonna have is your lesson. And so this will give you just a little bit more information about what they're reading about. It may have a small journaling activity for them to do as well. And then we have copy work. This is a quote in history. A lot of times we will take snippets from the book for other subjects, but for history, we really love, there's so many great quotes about history out there. So we do a quote. This quote is from Thomas Edison himself. And then we have a Bible verse that you can use for memory work if you want. We also sell scripture memory cards to go along with all of our units. That's a really beautiful add-on that you can use as well. And then some type of small Bible lesson to go along with the verse to tie it into that main lesson as well, to make it a little bit more tangible for your kiddos. We also have a some fun activity. So this is some type of hands-on activity or like larger journaling activity or something like that. So this one, since we're Industrial Revolution, electricity, all that fun stuff, we are making electricity using lemons in this one, which was so much fun. And then we have our rabbit trails and library list. So these kind of go together. These are those additional books I was talking about. And so you're going to learn a little bit more about Thomas Edison, but also other inventors, mills. There's also a video suggestion in every one of these rabbit trail sections as well. So more books to go further down that rabbit trail, videos to go further down the rabbit trail, and just get that really good education from amazing, amazing picture books that are out there. And the last part of our lesson is what we call more ideas. And so it's exactly what it sounds like. It is more ideas to dive even deeper. So we always have in our history, we always have an art study to go along with it. We try to include poetry where it's appropriate. Sometimes it's researching online. A lot of times our history in the back of the book, we have a resource list I'll show you. Those are usually crammed full in history because there's so much you can look at to go down the rabbit trail in history. And so you might get more hands-on stuff, research opportunities, movie opportunities, just lots of different things going on in our more ideas here. And so let me show you that resource list that I was talking about. So these are in the back of all of our curriculum. So we have our Amazon book list. So all of the main books that I showed you are available on our Amazon book list. You can of course get them from the library or you can get them used, but those 6 books are our required books. Any of the books in the rabbit trails or library list are absolutely just suggestions. You can read one of them, you can read all of them, you can skip them, whatever, however many you want to read is fine. Those main books is what we use as our framework for the lesson. So you'll want to make sure to get those. So we do have an Amazon link with all of those for you. We also have a middle grade history book list. So on this book list, it's on our blog, but you can get, for any of our units, there are chapter book suggestions to go along with it, because as my kiddos got older, there was still enough in here for them, but I wanted them just to get that little bit further. Since they're getting older and they're able to do a little bit more independently, that was a great way for them to kind of get that next step, that they're still doing the work with us as with the younger kids, but then they have that other independent reading. And so there is books on there for the industrial era as well, so that they can read their own books on the Titanic and World War I and all of that. And so that's been a really, really great addition to all of our units. As I said, lots and lots of links. So all of the links that you are directed to in the lessons are listed here for you now. And so if you just have your PDF, they are all hyperlinked and you can click in them that way. If you have it printed, you can of course just type them out. We wanted an easy way, instead of you trying to Google and be like, is this the right place or whatever? We have all those links then listed for you. And all those YouTube videos as well that are in the rabbit trail section are all under this QR code too. So no more searching for videos. Get the QR code, it'll pull up anything. And if there are video suggestions in the more ideas as well, we throw that on the QR code too, to make it nice and easy for you guys so that you can easily get to all those links, all those videos, and just, not have to spend that time searching for stuff. We also have a companion journal to go along with this curriculum. Now you can do all of the journaling work, it says, in a regular notebook if you want, but if there's a chart or a map or anything like that, we provide that all for you inside of here. So let me show you what the companion journal looks like. So I'm gonna go through the first lesson, just like I did in the actual curriculum. So for the lesson portion, there is a spot to draw anything and to write anything that you need for that lesson. There is a spot to put your copywork for that quote. There is also a spot to put your copywork for the Bible verse right there for you. Anything they want to write down from the video that they have watched, there is a page for that. Anything that they want to write down from any of those extra books that you have read, there is a spot for that. And then if more ideas requires actual paper, we have that included in here as well. So there is a spot for your art study right here. There is a spot for a chart inside of the more ideas. So it was compare and contrast mills and factories from the Industrial Revolution and today. So there's that chart already done for you. You don't have to try to think like, how would I make a chart for that? So that chart is all done. And then for their research section, that there is a page for them to write down all of their research. So anything that needs to be in there for more ideas is in there for you. So that is what you're going to find inside of the companion journal. We also have timeline cards available as well for all of our history units. So you can get those. They have the pictures, the name or event that happened, the dates, and extra blank cards if you want to fill any more of those out as well. So it makes it just really well-rounded. I like to have those for my kiddos to hang up in our homeschool room. You can put them on your fridge. They can even have them in their journal if they want. Put it in the lesson portion, whatever you want to do with them. I know everyone does something different with timeline cards. But yeah, there you have it. Industrial era, it was such a good unit, you guys. My kids really thoroughly enjoyed it. Both ages had a really great time with it. So I hope that you guys will too. There will be a link in the description, of course. You can check it all out for yourself. You can get more information on the website. Take a look at that sample lesson that I walked you through very quickly. You can pull that up. You can also see a sample schedule of how you could lay that lesson out over 2 weeks. So I think that covers all of it. I hope that you guys have a super blessed homeschool year using rabbit trails through history or any of our other rabbit trails. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.